Hello and welcome to the Inquisitive Knitting Podcast. My name is Marie and I live in the northeast part of Sweden with my partner and 2 children. Today it is a really cold but sunny day and I have the day off work, so I thought I step by and talk a little bit to you guys. It's been a while. It's been Christmas. It's been crazy work January with a lot of activities for the whole family. My son turned 19 years old yesterday, so we had a birthday party for him this Sunday. And then, you need to work and you need to do fun things with the family, not only knit, even though I've been knitting a lot. Well, this is just a spontaneous recording, so I don't have a nice setup. I don't have that much notes, and well, we'll see where this will lead today. So what am I wearing though? I have my finished Almue shawl, a shawl designed by Camilla a couple of years ago. I fell in love with the colors she had on her sample shawl, so I picked similar colors. I knitted mine in a yarn that is all Swedish, a Swedish brand called Yarnvik. I think I have spoken about that yarn on this podcast before. It's produced here in Sweden. It's 50% Gotland wool and 50% merino wool. And I have used, let's count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors of the Yarnvik Blenda. You can find the color names and numbers in my Reveler page. I will type it down here somewhere. I have a little bit of problem with my recording. I can't really see where to look today. I don't know. Maybe I have to change. I don't know. If I look a bit wonky, that's because my camera is a little bit off because of the sun coming in the window. That's right there. Do I have some finished objects then? Well, since it's been a while since I recorded, of course I have, but I can't show you everything. So I have a little pile of samples here down on the floor as usual. So I will pick some things up. First of all, I want to talk about a little happening here in Sweden amongst some of the YouTube bloggers, the knitting YouTubers. 3 women came up with the idea of creating a challenge for all of the podcasters, so we could volunteer to design a 20 centimeters in diameters square. So the idea of the challenge is to create a blanket, and that all the bloggers design their own square. So the first square was designed by Kia, who has the podcast Kia Spod. That's you can find on YouTube, and it's both a blog in Swedish, a pod in Swedish and a pod in English, so it suits all of you. And the first square looks like this in my version. I decided to use my scraps of sock yarn. So I held 2 colors double, or I only used 1 color at a time, but I held the yarn double. So this is my square. The light blue one is a hand-dyed yarn from Kreativ Fröjd, and the brownish one is Sandnäs Sisu, who I think it looks nice. And today, since it's February 1st, the second square design is released. So you can find that if you follow or look for the hashtag stickpodd. I will write it down below. A really fun initiative, and I will be the designer of the square for March. So I'm excited about that. I also, we often talk about Christmas cast on, and I was working this Christmas, or I worked the night shift, the night towards December 21st. We celebrate Christmas Eve more than Christmas Day. We exchange gifts on Christmas Eve. So I took some yarn and a pattern with me to my work and hoped for a calm night with sleeping patients, which happened. So I casted on a vest from Järbo that is designed by the Westerstrand sisters, and the vest looks like this. It's originally knitted in a 4-ply wool yarn produced by Järbo, but I had decided to knit from the stash and I didn't have that yarn, so I picked something I had at home that was Dererum Natura's yarn called Cyrano. I think it's Cyrano, yeah, in a dark red color. I'm really happy with the results. It's a really thick vest, so I haven't used it that much, but it will be perfect this fall and on the autumn over just a shirt or a long-sleeved t-shirt or something. I love the stitch pattern. Super simple to do, but looks really effective. So I can recommend this pattern, and yeah, it was a fun knit. It took me it was on big needles, so I think I knitted it up in 1 week, 1.5 weeks or something. Then I signed up for a test knit for the lovely Kajsa Vourela, that's more known as Tornedalsfrun. As you know by now, I'm a really fan of everything locally produced and local, and I think she's a designer who lives in the far north of Sweden, and yeah, that's local to me. So I signed up for test knit on a color without a name when I signed up, but it's now released, the pattern, and I will write the name down below here because I can't remember right now. The color is knitted in Intarsia technique, which I had never tested before. It's quite big. I will take it on, try it on so you can see. Don't mind my awful hair today. It's 20 minus degrees, so it's no idea to take off, or I have to have a bun, otherwise my hair will look like a Tudor cat. But well, to the color, it looks like this on. I love it. It's big, it's quite thin, and in a marvelous blend of wool. The grey wool is locally produced, of course, from a sheep farm just, well, it's not in my community, but the next community, so to speak. It's maybe 40 kilometers from me where it's produced. It's called Everting, and the turquoise or aqua colored, I don't know what to say, call it, is from Fru Valborg, her BFL Masham base. I really love how this turned out. I have used it a lot. It's perfect under my coat, and well, I think I keep it on as I speak to you. The pattern is out, and it's available in both English and Swedish, so for you English speaking viewers, it's a great project for you too. I would go with a similar yarn, maybe an alpaca yarn, or a nice soft wool yarn, a two-ply yarn. I think it's best for this one. Well, let's see. Yeah, I've decided that this year, 2023, I will try and not buy that much yarn, which I have already failed. But I will try and use up more of my stash, which is huge. And I also decided that I need to knit up a bit of my precious skeins of sock wool, or sock yarn. So therefore I decided that my 2023 focus project would be to knit one pair of socks each month. So my January socks are finished, and they are called Lysti socks. They are designed by a Finnish designer called Leeni Holmela. And I knitted mine in a merino sock yarn from Kreativ Fröjd. She has shut down her coloring business, but I have some precious skeins left from her, so I wanted to use them. I love the pink color. It is like a soft pink with some speckles of black and orange in it. So my first pair of socks for 2023 is the Lysti. So I think I was caught with a little bit of knitting mojo. I lost my knitting mojo in the beginning of January. I couldn't really decide what to knit. I had a lot of plans. I checked through my stash and did some complimentary shopping for a lot of projects that I wanted to do, and then I didn't feel like casting on anything of them. So January has been a bit of, and I have been trying to finish a couple of things like the Almue shawl, and then I didn't really know what to cast on. I wanted to cast on some sweaters that I have yarn for, because I was felt a little bit stressed over all my big piles of yarn that I was planning to use for sweaters, but never ever came around to start knitting. But well, it ended up with me casting on a lot of smaller projects instead. So first I started with a shawl that probably you all have already done. I'm a bit late with my knitting of this. It's the Vertices Unite shawl by Steven West. I keep it in this lovely bag from Åsa Bags. As I said, I have a lot of lovely yarns, lovely sock yarns that I want to use for something, and I can say it's a lot, so I can't do socks of all of it, because then I only can knit socks, and that I don't want to do that. So I decided to use up some of my sock yarns for the Vertices Unite shawl. So I will show you the colors I picked, but I need to crawl around the floor a bit, because two of the skeins has escaped. So wait. So now we'll see if I can keep them from running away again. I started, but I haven't made that much. I have just this little piece made up. I'm not really a pink person, but somehow I have a lot of pink yarns. So I think this will be perfect for this shawl. So these are the first two colors. This pink one is from Creative Thread, I think. I don't really remember. And this one is from Shopper Wool, a sock yarn. I love this one. And they will go together with, we'll see if I can grab all of these other three colors. No, it escaped. Well, this one, it's a really dark pink burgundy, I would say, color. And then I have this one and a little piece of pink. This is actually not a sock yarn, it's a merino yarn, but it's the same thickness. So I think this will be nice. These two fit really well together. And we'll see if I can do this. Something like this. What do you think? I can see it. Will be nice, hopefully, when it will be finished. Someday, maybe. No hurry. I also I have casted on a vest. I think I'm getting old because I have become a vest person. I always see older people people wearing vests, so that's why I think I'm getting old, because I'm starting to like vests more and more. I don't know. There's a vest called the Sylvie vest by Leeni Holmela, Leeni Hol, as I talked about before, that I have loved since I found it the first time on my Instagram, on her Instagram, but it passed through my Instagram. And I finally decided to cast it on. I haven't, it's looked like a mess, this, because it's several small parts. It's a broken rib, look like this, and I knitted in one strand of silk mohair from Viking garn, and one strand of also locally produced yarn from a brand called Yarns and Barns, and this is 2-ply Ulrika in a grey color that I think is called silver. I haven't gotten much done on this yet. I am a little bit afraid that it will be too small. So I think I will lay it aside for a while and figure out if I need to rip it out and start all over again, or if I can save it or block it out in some way. This is also one of the bags I have from Åsa Bags that I absolutely love. Then of course I have knitted my sample for the March square for the stickpodd stafette, but that one I can't show you yet. And as I said, I decided to knit a pair of socks each month, and even though it's February 1st today, I have come a bit further than just the toe on the February sock. This is knitted in a yarn from Fru Fjällman. She has a subscription on a monthly yarn, and this month it was a merino sock yarn, so it's perfect for my February sock. And this is a little bit of fun because this is my own design that has not really a name yet, and the pattern isn't written yet either, but as soon as I have finished one sock and written the pattern, I will be calling for some test knitters on my Instagram. It's a quite simple stitch pattern, and it's knitted toe up, and well, it knits up quite fast, I think. Even though I have to write down what I'm doing all the time, it's going quite fast. So I hope this looks interesting and that you might sign up for a test knit that comes in a couple of weeks. I think I have some other projects too that's ongoing, but I don't give them that much love anymore. Or I think I only have one, another cowl, or I lost the name, we call it cowl, from Tetti Lutzak, but I felt a little bit intimidated by the fact that I had this and the shawl, and then I have another cowl and another shawl. I felt like I can't have everything on me at the same time, so I put it aside and was thinking I might knit on it in a couple of months or whenever I feel like it. It's a fun knit and I love the yarn and everything, but I was a little bit tired of knitting cowls and shawls. So the West Knits shawl, the Vertices Unite, probably won't get that much love either. We'll see. I'm also waiting for a test knit to come out. It's a sweater from Lotta Lötgren, who has Elk Market and Elk Market yarn, and she has a sweater coming up that I have been loving since I saw the first pictures, which was a couple of months ago. So I hope she will release the test knit for that this week. So that's also one of the reasons why I haven't casted on any sweaters or bigger projects, because I was waiting, or I am waiting for Lotta's test knit. I mentioned that I bought some complementary yarns. I only want to show you one combination because I was thinking that you could give me some suggestions on what to knit with this. I have bought this summer on a sale Rauma Inca. This is a wool. No, it's a 100 alpaca wool. It's 175 meters on 50 grams. And then I complemented this. I think I have five balls of this. Then I complemented this with a mohair from Dale Garn. It's a greenish color. So I was thinking that I want to knit something with this. So if you have any idea, please write it down in the comment section. It will be well appreciated from me if you can come up with something. I wasn't supposed to buy any yarn. I promised myself. That didn't last long at all, because the company that makes the Blenda yarn also has a couple, or they have two other different yarns that's plant-based. They have one yarn called Dandelion that's made from dandelions. I think I've talked about that before. And now this autumn, they released a yarn created or made by lavender, the Vega lavender yarn. And when I saw it the first time, I was thinking no, or I was thinking I want it, but I won't buy it because I don't need it. But I couldn't keep my fingers off from buying it in the end. So I bought 2 skeins of the Vega lavender yarn in the color Nugata. This is a 100% lavender yarn. It's 400 meters on this 100 gram skein, and I bought 2 skeins thinking it would be enough to make a short-sleeved summer top. The yarn is super soft. It feels like silk, and you can see that it has a lovely shine to it. So this will be interesting to try. And I don't know, it's not the usual color for me. It's a little bit of pink beigey, but I need to step away from all my blues. I think I have almost knitted everything in blue or gray, so I need some other colors in my wardrobe. And I have a sort of palette that I have created, so my thought is that I will use this palette to get the wardrobe that fits together. So this green combination also is part of my palette, and this light pink grayish base color is too. And then I couldn't help myself from buying this one. Look at this beauty. It's one of a kind sock yarn, I think. It's called Zebra Sock. It's 70% superwash wool and 25% polyamide. 420 meters on this 100 gram skein. And it's from someone called Myrans Maskor. You can find her on Instagram. But isn't this lovely? I don't know if it will be a pair of socks or something else. And again, I bought something pink. I don't know why. When I see the skeins with pink, I fall in love, but I don't wear that much pink. I think it needs to change because of my pink yarns. Do I want to share something else with you? I need to look in my little book here. Maybe I should talk something about my plans for 2023 else than knitting from the stash and making one sock a month. You know, I didn't make a formal make 9 this year, but I made a grid. I will show you in a minute. I made a grid and started to fill in some of the things that I know I want to do. And then I left a couple of squares blank so I can fill in during the year. But as I said, I have written a couple of things up here. So it's knitting from the stash, 1 sock amount. Then I need a cardigan with a round yoke. I think a round yoke fits me better. So I have been looking out for a basic cardigan with a round yoke, and I want it to be quite narrow around the neck because I often wear a t-shirt and I don't like when I have a cardigan over the t-shirt and the t-shirt is coming up above the cardigan collar. So I have been looking around, but I haven't really found one that I want to do. So that's something you also can, if you have a tip on a cardigan with a round yoke, please write down below in the comment section so I can check your ideas out too. And I also want to knit a long cardigan because maybe 10 years ago I bought a cardigan, a grey one with pockets that's long enough to go down on the back below the butt, halfway down the thigh. And I have used that cardigan extremely much, and now it has died. It was so much used that it started to fall apart, so I threw it away. And then there's a cardigan by Katarina Hagenhuset that's called the Viken cardigan, and that looks quite similar to the one I threw away without the pockets. And I have been longing for yarn to knit that one up, and well, that is something I really want to do this year. I think since it's a long or long cardigan, it will take some time. So I feel like it's no rush finishing it, but I also want it really bad. But I think I will have as a goal to finish it until the end of the summer, or maybe like September or something. I haven't even started it, but I have bought yarn for it that I haven't with me right now. It's upstairs. So that's also a couple of plans. I don't think I have anything else to say to you today. Hopefully I will record soon again. I have a planned meeting to record my other part of this podcast, the one called the Inquisitive Knitting Podcast. I normally call this the Inquisitive Knitter Makes. I have a scheduled meeting with a knitter next week, so that one will come out, but it's in Swedish, and I don't have really the time to text it, so you have to wait for another English speaking version of my podcast. I hope you had a nice time watching me today. I love your comments. I hope you will subscribe, and it's totally okay to share my podcast with others. And yeah, I see you when I see you. Bye.